My beloved child, if you quiet your heart long enough amid the invisible turbulence, you will sense something that the human eye cannot perceive, a strange presence, silent yet weighty, enveloping your room. It is not the chill of the night nor the familiar loneliness of humanity, but a sign that you are standing on the front lines of a spiritual battle deeper than anything you've ever faced. This is not merely a passing emotional storm, it is a spiritual confrontation where your soul is the battlefield and the enemy seeks to exploit the tiniest cracks in your heart to plant seeds of chaos. My child, I do not reveal this to frighten you, but to awaken you. In the spiritual realm, there are things unfolding quietly that can bear long-lasting consequences if you do not perceive and confront them. A door has been opened, not by you, but by someone within your family, and that has allowed darkness, a foothold, slipping in quietly like a thief in the night. It doesn't knock loudly, but lurks in every confused thought, every unexplainable emotion, every moment you feel lost and tempted to give up. You have not done anything wrong, but you are caught in a consequence that must be addressed with light and truth. Beloved one, understand that the enemy never comes with a frightening face. It comes cloaked in doubt, in wounds, in whispered thoughts that echo in your mind, causing you to question yourself and even my love for you. It will whisper that you are not enough, that you've been abandoned, that no one truly understands you. But remember, those words do not come from me, for my voice never leaves you feeling small or hopeless. My voice always lifts you up even when you're in the deepest valley. I am light, I am life, and I am the source of endless hope, where I am no darkness can remain, if you are willing to open your heart and let me in. You are being attacked not because you are weak, but because you are valuable. The enemy does not waste time on what is meaningless. It targets you because it knows who you are in my eyes. It fears that you will walk into the spiritual destiny I have ordained for you. It fears your awakening will bring deliverance to your entire household. And so it does everything it can to distract you, to suffocate your faith, to make you feel like a lone soldier in a battle too vast. But my child, do not believe your emotions. Believe my word. For my word is a weapon more powerful than any negative thought, more powerful than any curse from the past, and stronger than any force of darkness trying to invade your life. You are not alone. Though you cannot see them, my angels are with you, surrounding your room, placing their hands on your forehead as you sleep, guarding every breath you take and praying for you in a heavenly language you cannot hear. Every tear you've shed is recorded in heaven. Every quiet cry in the night I have heard. Remember, this darkness never overcomes light unless you abandon the light. But I know you won't, because you are a child of light, born of love and redeemed by the blood of the one who laid down his life for you. So, my beloved child, do not let fear claim your heart. Do not let the heaviness make you believe hope is gone. On the contrary, let it be the summons that calls you to rise in faith. Anoint your room, worship, open the scriptures. Declare my word into the atmosphere. Let the sound of life drive back the shadows. For when you speak my name, Jesus, darkness must tremble and retreat. No spirit can stand before the power of that name. You do not have to fight alone, for this battle belongs to me, and I have never been defeated. The failure of one family member is not the end. It is a reminder that your family needs me now more than ever. Pray for them, forgive them. Do not allow bitterness to become another door for darkness. Keep your heart tender, for it is the tender heart that invites miracles. I will mend what has gone crooked. I will seal the door that was opened in error. But I need your partnership in faith, in repentance, and in relentless love. My child, this is the time for you to step into a season of victory, not by might but by presence. When you invite me to dwell in the center of your life, I will transform that room into a sanctuary. I will turn tears into singing, darkness into dawn, and what the enemy meant to destroy you, I will use as the foundation of my glory. You need only to stand firm, to pray, and to hold tightly to my hand. For I, the Lord Jehovah, your Almighty God, am your fortress, your refuge, and your eternal light. Rise, my beloved, victory is already yours. My beloved child, let your heart settle like the waters after a storm, so that every word I am about to speak may soak into your soul like morning dew upon a dry field. The things unfolding around you within your very household are not random occurrences or mere coincidences. They are warning bells echoing from the unseen realm, letting you know that something has shifted out of alignment with holiness. A small breach in the spiritual wall I built around your life has been opened not by your intention, but perhaps through the ignorance or unawareness of someone close to you. But regardless of the cause, darkness does not require much. Just a crack is enough for it to slip in, cling, and begin to bring harm. My child, do not be quick to blame the one who opened that door. They did not realize what they were doing. Perhaps they allowed negative words, bitter thoughts, or actions that displeased me to flood this home. And when that happened, the place meant to be a sanctuary of peace, your home began to shake. A small fracture in your spiritual stronghold can quickly become a gate for darkness if it is not identified and sealed through prayer, through love, and through forgiveness. I want you to grasp this truth. The spiritual world is real, and more real than what your eyes have ever seen. It is where the true battles are fought. While you are occupied with the routines of daily life, unseen forces are working to manipulate thoughts, steer emotions, and influence the atmosphere of your household. But in that same realm, my angels, faithful warriors of light, are camped around those who fear me and take refuge in me. They do not sleep, they are never distracted, they never abandon their posts, but they need your agreement to act, for I do not force myself, I honor the free will I placed within you. My child, darkness has no inherent authority over you or your home unless someone opens the door and grants it that access. The enemy is masterful at disguising its presence. It doesn't show up in terrifying form, but often hides in inexplicable arguments, prolonged tension, spiritual fatigue, and an unshakable heaviness. It seeks division, stirring doubt toward your loved ones, toward yourself, and toward my love for you. That is its tactic, silent, patient, but deeply cunning. Yet, beloved one, do not let this overwhelm you. For above every shadow there is a light that never fades, and it is I, your God. I see every entry point, every movement in the spirit realm, and I will never abandon you. I am awakening you not to tremble, but to rise. I want you to see the root so you may know what to mend. I want you to be aware of the spiritual impact of every action, every word, every posture, not so that you live in fear, but so that you live in power and wisdom. If your home feels unsettled, do not rush to resolve it with material fixes. First, step into your secret place where it's just you and me, and ask me to reveal the truth. Ask, Father, what is happening in my family? Who needs healing? Who unknowingly opened the door to the dark? And I will answer, not in thunder, but in a quiet peace that enters your heart, a peace that only my Spirit can give. I will lead you to forgiveness, to cleansing, to the closing of doors that were unknowingly opened. You do not need to be perfect to do this. You only need to be humble enough to return. Every sincere prayer you offer is a brick rebuilding your protective wall. Every loving action toward your family is a declaration that drives darkness out. Every time you speak life instead of blame, remain silent instead of fighting, lift up my name instead of surrendering to fear, you are rebuilding your home upon a solid rock. And I, your Father, will send my angels to close every open door. I will restore the peace that no one can steal. I will cleanse the air of your home with the very breath of my Spirit. My beloved, do not let doubt and sorrow crowd your heart. I have chosen you to be the light within your house, to stand on behalf of your lineage, to pray, restore, and declare victory. You have been placed in the right place at the right time, not to surrender to darkness, but to bring the light back. So walk forward in confidence. No matter how tangled the situation may be, I am still in control. No matter how well darkness tries to hide, my light will expose it. Remember, precious one, it is not this house of brick and stone that is my dwelling. It is your heart that is the true temple. And when your heart overflows with my presence, there is no corner left for shadows. Stand firm, rekindle the flame of worship. Invite me once again to take lordship over every room in your house. I am waiting. And when you invite me in, I will not enter with light alone, but with victory for you and for your entire family. For I am the faithful one who never leaves those I love. And you, yes, you are the one I love. My beloved child, this is not merely a gentle invitation. I am calling you to action. Not with a spirit of fear, not with trembling hands or a weary soul, but with bold faith, with the authority that has been given to you by my name, the name above all names. The name before which every knee must bow, in heaven, on earth, and in the deepest places of darkness. This is not a time for delay or hesitation. This is a sacred hour, a moment I have appointed for you to step into your role as the guardian of sacred ground, the protector of your home from all influences that do not come from the light. My beloved child, I see clearly what is unfolding within your household. There are subtle but persistent disturbances, an unshakable heaviness without a clear cause, sudden arguments, or a quiet gloom that seems to linger in the air. These are not just fleeting emotions, but signs that something unseen and unholy is dwelling beneath the surface. It may have begun with something seemingly harmless, a painting, a book, a decorative item, or a digital device harboring content displeasing to me. But in the spiritual realm, everything carries a spirit, and if that spirit does not come from me, it will not remain idle. It will seek to influence, invade, and eventually cause harm. Child, I do not speak this to alarm you, but to awaken you. Your power does not lie in avoidance, but in action led by light. I want you to examine your home not only with your natural eyes, but with the discernment of my spirit. Ask for wisdom, and I will show you. Some items may appear purely physical, yet they are gateways for the enemy. Some content left unnoticed on your phone, your computer, or your bookshelf has become a foothold for darkness, and now I urge you, cleanse it. Remove it. Reclaim the spiritual space that was meant to be consecrated as my dwelling. But what I desire from you goes beyond mere physical cleansing. I ask for prayer, not rote recitations or empty traditions, but powerful, faith-filled prayers spoken through the truth of my word. Stand in that room and proclaim my name. Speak my word with clarity. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command every dark spirit and every unholy influence to leave this place. Because when you pray in my name, you are not merely speaking, you are activating the authority of heaven, and when that power is invoked, no darkness can remain. My word is a double-edged sword. It not only cuts away, but also exposes, illuminates, and burns through every lie that has taken root in your heart or within your living space. My precious child, this is the time for you to rise not only as a believer, but as a warrior in my holy army. You are not fighting in your own strength, but with spiritual weapons through prayer, proclamation, obedience, and unwavering faith. When you act according to my leading, all of heaven moves with you. Angels are dispatched to assist, to sweep away the remnants of darkness, and to shut the doors that were once opened. I, your Father, stand with you. Nothing in the enemy's arsenal is greater than the love and presence I have placed over you. Do not hesitate to let go of something you once cherished. Do not delay when it's time to refuse what no longer reflects my holiness. For every time you surrender even the smallest thing to choose me, you are restoring a sacred dimension in your life. I will give you spiritual eyes to discern what to keep and what to cast away. And when you obey, you will feel something miraculous. The atmosphere will shift, the room will become lighter, your heart will find peace, and the burdens that once weighed you down will vanish as though they never existed. Child, I know this is not easy, but I am not asking for supernatural strength from you. I am simply asking for a heart that listens, and I will do the rest. When you act, I act. When you speak my word, I turn it into fire. When you choose holiness, I grant you peace that surpasses all understanding. This is not a one-time task, this is a way of living. A life of alertness, of worship, of being set apart for the light. So, my beloved child, do not delay. Step into action, not to punish, not out of fear, but because you love me and long to make your home a place where I am welcome to dwell. Turn every room into a sanctuary. Play songs of praise, read my word aloud, anoint your doorposts with oil, and pray with faith. Walk through your home not as one anxious, but as one who carries authority, the authority of your heavenly Father. For you are a child of the King, and upon you rests the power of the one who conquered death. No entity, no influence, no darkness can dwell where you have declared my name. I am with you, I fight for you, I guard you. And from the moment you act in faith, you will witness my hand intervene not only in your physical space, but in your spirit, your family, and your future. For I love you, and I will never call you to something without also granting you the grace to fulfill it. Begin today, my child, in my name, the name that changes everything. My beloved child, amid all that I am teaching you in this season, there is one truth I long for you to treasure with all your heart. Someone in your family, perhaps unknowingly, has opened a door for darkness to enter, and that very person now needs you. Not through words of blame nor with a condemning gaze, but through sincere intercession, quiet love, and prayers flowing from a heart saturated with grace. Because, my child, not everyone perceives the depths of spiritual matters, and not everyone is aware of the consequences that can follow seemingly harmless actions. They may not have intended to do wrong. They may have followed misguided advice, opened their heart to a harmful influence, or simply lacked discernment in a moment of weakness. But in the spiritual realm, every action carries weight. And when a heart cracks open to darkness even slightly, the peace that once reigned begins to waver. That is why I need you, the one I have awakened, the one attuned to, my voice, to stand in the gap and intercede for them. Not because you are superior, but because you are positioned to help them return under the light of my love. This is your moment to step into your role as an intercessor, standing between them and me. Offer prayers not just for their protection, but for repentance in their heart. Pray for the light of truth to shine upon the areas clouded by misunderstanding. Ask my Holy Spirit to soften their heart, to help them see that holiness is not a burden, but an invisible shield, guarding every soul against the enemy's subtle attacks. Intercede for them just as others once interceded for you, hidden but powerful, unseen but tear-filled. And when you approach them, come not with judgment, but with a heart full of mercy. For if I, the Holy God, can be slow to anger and abounding in compassion, surely you, my child, can learn to extend such grace. But do not confuse grace with silence. I do not call you to enable wrong, but to speak truth in love. Choose your words wisely. Speak gently yet clearly, making known that what has happened is not just affecting them, but has opened a door to uninvited influences within your shared space. Help them understand the importance of guarding the heart, for from it flows the wellspring of life. I know there will be moments when you feel weary, perhaps discouraged, when you do not see change right away. But persevere, my child, for your prayers, when offered in faith and sincerity, are never in vain. They are like drops of water falling on dry soil, and one day life will bloom from the place that once seemed barren. You do not need to force their transformation, for true change comes by my Spirit. Your role is to remain faithful in intercession, leave the rest to me. And child, even as you pray for them, your own heart will be healed. If there is anger, I will turn it into forgiveness. If there is pain, I will transform it into compassion. If there is distance, I will build a bridge of love. For each time you choose forgiveness over accusation, truth over silence, you become more like me, like the one who interceded for all humanity on the cross, not with condemnation but with mercy. Father, forgive them. So, my precious one, do not hesitate. Begin today, write their name into your daily prayers. Bring them before my throne of grace. Place them in my hands, and believe that I, who began a good work in your heart, will also move in theirs. Let your love for them echo the love I have for you. And when the season of restoration arrives, you will witness not only their transformation, but a shift in the atmosphere of your entire home, a sweet, lasting peace lovingly placed there by my hand. Because I do not desire to save only individuals, I long to redeem whole families. And you are the first link in that divine plan of love. Be strong, be gentle, be truthful, and above all, be steadfast in love. For love never fails when it is born of me, and I, who am love, will remain with you until the work of restoration is complete. You do not pray alone, my beloved child. I am listening, and I will act. My beloved child, engrave this deeply upon your spirit, like a sacred flame that will never fade in the night. Darkness may surround you, it may threaten, it may whisper words that shake your heart, but it cannot conquer you when you are in me. It cannot, my child, because I am your enduring refuge, your unshakable fortress, and the arms that remain open to uphold you when the storm rises. In every moment of hardship, in every pain without explanation, in every long night where dawn seems out of reach, I am there, never absent, never indifferent, never silent before your cry. My beloved child, when your heart trembles in exhaustion, when doubts creep in like a mist that blurs your spiritual sight, I am still there, in the darkness, in the silence, in every tear you have not yet wiped away. I see it all. I do not merely see the external circumstances, but I see deep within the longing heart that yearns to be embraced and comforted. So do not be afraid when you feel weak. Do not be ashamed when you need help. Call upon me, even with a feeble whisper, and I will answer you, without delay, without conditions. For I am your Father, the one who loves you not for what you do, but because of who you are, an irreplaceable treasure in my heart. Seek me, my child. Not merely with your intellect or through actions, but with your whole heart, through complete surrender, through a yearning for closeness, through the simple faith of a child who believes that their Father will never abandon them. I do not hide myself to test you. I am not distant to measure your worth. On the contrary, I am always near, just waiting for you to return, waiting for you to lift your eyes, waiting for you to open your heart and say, Father, I need you. And in that moment you will see me, not as a distant concept, but as a living presence full of power and mercy, right beside you, with the fullness of a love that never runs dry. My child, my promises are not merely ink on a page. They are life, they are light, they are unchanging truth. When you walk through seasons that feel too difficult to bear, when everything around you shakes and nothing seems certain anymore, that is the very moment you must cling to my word as an anchor in the storm. Emotions may shift, people may change, but my promises, they do not. They are true, they are eternal, and they have been spoken for you. Therefore I invite you, declare my word each day. Let my word dwell not only in your memory, but become the breath of your spirit. Declare, the Lord is my refuge, my protector, my guiding light, and my warrior. When you speak these words, it is not because I have forgotten, but because you need to remember. These words rebuild your faith day by day like firm stones laid beneath your feet on a rugged path, and do not speak them only over yourself. Proclaim my word over your home, your family, your surroundings. For my word, when spoken in faith, carries power to transform the atmosphere, shatter darkness, and breathe new life into what was once wounded. My beloved, I know the path you're walking is not easy. There are days when your heart feels heavy as lead, nights when you just want to give up. But I tell you this, every step you take, whether slow or trembling, carries weight. Every prayer you whisper, no matter how short or unfinished, is heard by me. Every time you choose to declare my word instead of listening to the enemy's lies, you are drawing closer to the fullness I have prepared for you. And one day when you look back, you will see that in the very center of the storm I was there, not just to keep you alive, but to deepen your faith, to strengthen your spirit, and to make your light shine brighter than ever before. So my precious child, do not let the darkness steal your voice. Do not let your circumstances silence you. Do not let the waiting cause you to forget that I am still working. Open your mouth to sing, to proclaim, to pray. For in every word you are opening the gates of heaven into your world. You are partnering with me to bring transformation not only to your life, but to the lives of those you love. And I promise you this, when you remain faithful to my word, when you continue to seek me, I will fulfill every promise I have made to you. You will not merely get through, you will stand firm. You will not just survive, you will step into abundant life. And you will not only be protected, you will become a light for others, living proof that He is my fortress, my trust, my Lord, the one who never changes. I am here, always here, and I will always be here with you, for you, and within you. Do not stop proclaiming, do not stop believing. For I, your God, have never broken a promise. And you are the joy within every promise I've made. My beloved child, there are moments when you suddenly become aware of strange clouds forming in your soul. Nameless sadness, a heaviness like shadows, slipping silently into your spirit while you are not paying attention. They do not come like a violent storm, but like a quiet fog that gently cloaks you, and you do not even realize your mind has slowly drifted from the light. But my child, these things do not originate from you. They are not your true nature, and they are certainly not my voice. They are whispers sown by the enemy in subtle ways, bit by bit, step by step, with one aim to pull you away from the arms of love, to blur the image of who you truly are in my heart, and to cause you to doubt the beautiful promises I have spoken over your life. Strongholds of the mind, did you know, are not built overnight. They are formed from small bricks of doubt, self-blame, disappointment, and unworthiness that you have unknowingly accepted. Perhaps it was one painful word from another, one failure that made you turn inward, or one moment of weakness that made you think I had left you. But my child, that is an illusion. The truth is, I have never left you, not for a single moment. And even when you feel inadequate, imperfect, or not holy enough, you are still, my child, loved with an unconditional love engraved on the palm of my hand, surrounded daily by my grace. My child, the enemy cannot steal what I have given you, so he seeks to deceive you into surrendering it yourself. He sows false thoughts into your mind. You are useless, you are not good enough. God no longer hears you. And if those whispers are not recognized, they become mental chains, silencing your voice, making you hesitant to pray, drawing you away from the presence that has always been near. I do not blame you for having those thoughts. I understand that the battle in the mind is real, fiercer than any conflict in the physical world. But I want you to know you are not fighting alone. When you feel sudden sadness, unexplainable fatigue, or a sense that no one understands or cares, pause. Do not immediately believe it is the truth. Ask me. Allow me to shine the light of truth into the hidden places of your heart, because most of the battles you are wrestling with are not caused by external circumstances, but by a mind overwhelmed with voices that are not from me. And if the enemy can make you believe something false, he can make you live as though defeated, even though you were destined for victory. My precious child, whenever you feel far from me, it is not because I have left, but because your mind is clouded by the enemy's tactics. They do not simply aim to make you sad, but to silence your voice, the voice of prayer, of praise, of truth. But do you know what breaks through that fog? It is when you choose to speak my word. When you declare, I am a child of God, loved, forgiven, chosen, and nothing can separate me from his love, then the strongholds begin to crumble. And I want you to do this every day, not as a duty, but as a weapon. Speak my word, even when you don't feel it. Stand and declare the truth, even when your emotions say the opposite. Because faith is not a feeling, it is a decision to believe what I have said. And you will see, day by day, every stronghold will be torn down, every lie exposed, and your heart will become lighter, full of hope, full of life. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You have been given the mind of Christ, equipped with spiritual armor, covered in the breastplate of righteousness. Clothe yourself in truth. Drive out every thought that is not in line with my word. Remind yourself daily, I have chosen you, I am with you, and I will not let you fall. My child, let me restore the deepest part of you, the place that once believed it was not enough. Let me pour into you a peace that is not fake, not based on your circumstances, but a peace that surpasses all understanding. Let me tear down every stronghold the enemy has built. And remember, every time you return to me, every time you whisper a prayer, no matter how weak, every time you choose to believe in my love, you are stepping closer to true freedom. I love you, and I will not allow any lie to snatch you from my hand. You are mine, today, tomorrow, and forever. Do not be silent. Do not let go. Step into the light, because the light always wins. And in that light you will rediscover your true self, the one I created out of love that never fades. My beloved child, in this world filled with colors and sounds, there are things laid before your eyes like sweet candy, tempting, convenient, and full of promise. But I want you to know that not everything that appears harmless is truly harmless, and not everything that makes you feel good comes from life. There are things adorned with attractive appearances, wrapped in entertainment or knowledge, but within carry seeds of division, of spiritual death. And these, my child, do not come from me. They are crafted to quietly pull your mind away from the light, bit by bit, subtly and cleverly, like an underground current slowly eroding the foundation of the sturdy house you are working so hard to build. You may think it's just a normal television show, a catchy song, a casual conversation, or a harmless cultural tradition. But I warn you, look deeper, discern spiritually, not emotionally or by trends. There are things, even just fleeting images on a screen or a few moments immersed in an article, that are enough to crack open a small door in your heart through which darkness can slip in, not by force but by compromise. And it is those very compromises, no matter how small, that begin to dim your soul and create distance between you and me. My beloved child, the mystical practices disguised under the name of traditional spirituality, the games laced with magic, the films that feed revenge, bitterness, or lust, and the relationships that encourage lifestyles contrary to holiness. These are all poisons. They do not kill you instantly, but they contaminate slowly like drops of acid falling quietly into a stream of pure water. At first, you may think you're fine, but then you begin to feel distant from me, find it harder to pray, more irritable, more doubtful, and gradually lose your spiritual sensitivity. These are signs that your soul is being affected by things that do not come from the light, even if they arrive cloaked in the appearance of normality. I do not say this to shame you, but to protect you, because I know that in this age the enemy no longer uses crude weapons. It knows how to transform itself into an angel of light, to speak with sweet words, to paint beautiful images, and to seduce hearts that are desperately searching for something greater than themselves. It targets your deepest needs, the need to be loved, to be understood, to belong, and offers quick fixes, easy access, and solutions that require no real transformation. But child, everything that comes from the darkness demands the cost of your soul. And there is nothing worth losing the vibrant presence of your Father in your life, not even for a fleeting moment. I call you to awaken. Look at this world not with eyes of familiarity or emotion, but with spiritual discernment. If something makes you feel the need to hide it during worship prayer or when reading my word, then that is a sign it should not remain in your life. If there is content that makes you indifferent to holiness, or relationships that make you deaf to my gentle voice, then those things no longer belong to you. Be bold and cut them off. Do not grieve over them. For anything you surrender out of love for me, I will restore with peace, purity, and sweetness the world cannot comprehend. Remember, you do not have to be like anyone else. You do not have to follow trends to be loved. True love does not come from compromise. It comes from truth and freedom. And when you keep your heart from defilement, you make room for me to dwell. When you say no to darkness, you are saying yes to a new life. A life with depth, with foundation, with light that cannot be extinguished. And from within you, that light will spread to others, still lost in the confusion of this chaotic world. My precious child, I know that this decision may at times leave you feeling isolated, misunderstood, even mocked. But remember, you do not walk alone. I go before you, I stand beside you, and I guard your rear. And the reward for obedience, for the courage to reject what the world esteems, will be a deep fellowship with me, richer than any entertainment, more lasting than any temporary escape, and sweeter than every hollow promise. Choose the narrow road, even if few walk it. Guard your heart like a watchman of a sacred temple. Let everything you see, hear, feel, and receive be filtered through the lens of holiness and the love that comes from me. For your soul is a treasure, and I, the one who created you, am always seeking to protect that treasure from every form of contamination. And when you do this, you will feel lighter, clearer, and closer to me. No more wandering, no more shakiness in your prayers. In that moment, you will know you have chosen the better portion, and it will not be taken away from you. I am proud of you, not because you are perfect, but because you are brave enough to guard your heart in a world that is losing its way. You are light in darkness, salt in blandness, a voice of truth among countless noises. And I will always be here watching over you, loving you completely and eternally. My beloved child, there is a profound truth I want you to remember today. The battle you are facing is not just your own. It is larger than your present emotions, bigger than the stifling circumstances, and deeper than the wounds you carry. The enemy is not merely targeting you because of what you are doing now, but because of who you are becoming. It trembles at the potential I placed in you before the foundation of the world. It knows the light you bear, the impact you could bring, and the life I long to release through you for the sake of those still waiting to be rescued. That is why it works tirelessly to wear you out, to hinder your progress, and worst of all, to silence you. Child, do not believe that the relentless pressure is random. It is carefully orchestrated to blur your spiritual vision, to make you question your worth, and to distract you from the truth that I am with you every second, every minute. The painful words, the unexpected rejections, the seemingly unfair failures, they are tactics designed to slow your steps. But remember, if you were of no threat to the enemy, it would not fight you this fiercely. You are not being tested because you are weak, but because you are stronger than you realize. Your presence in your family, in your community, in this world, is a threat to darkness. For wherever you step with, my love, darkness retreats. Beloved, do not be deceived into thinking you are fighting alone. I have never left your side, and I never asked you to endure in your own strength. I did not call you to be a superhero. I called you to be obedient, to lean on my power. It is in your weakness that my strength is made perfect. It is in your moments of wanting to quit that I lift you with my mighty hand and say, "You're not done yet, I still have much to do through you. So today I speak this to you, rise and fight." Not with clenched fists of anger, but with a humble heart guarded by truth. Not with human schemes, but with spiritual weapons, prayer, proclamation, and love that does not surrender. My precious one, I have overcome the world. The things you fear I have conquered. The wounds you carry I bore on the cross. The accusations screaming in your mind, I silenced them with the blood of my Son. When you are in me, you are not merely surviving, you are more than a conqueror. You are a living instrument in my hands, a vessel of healing, a light guiding the lost. The enemy fears that. It fears your voice when you pray. It fears every word you speak to uplift others. It fears every act of forgiveness over resentment. Every move you make in love and faith, no matter how small, causes darkness to tremble. So do not let fear snuff out the flame within you. Do not let failure blur the vision I have set before you. Remember, I did not choose you because you are flawless. I chose you because you are willing to be taught, willing to rise after falling, willing to let me move through your weakness. And that very willingness, your faithfulness in small things, is what makes you a true warrior in my kingdom. My dear child, if today you feel like you are not enough, look at me, I am enough for you. If you feel alone, listen to the whisper within your heart, I am here. If you feel lost, let my word be the lamp to your feet. Do not sit in silence anymore. Do not let the enemy steal your voice, for your voice carries power. Do not let circumstances choke your dreams, for those dreams are the promises I planted in your heart. Do not let your tears make you forget who you are, for every tear you shed is remembered in heaven. Child, this battle is not easy, but you are not alone. Heavenly armies are stationed around you. My name is your refuge. My power is your shield against every arrow, and my love is an endless source of strength. You were born to overcome, not with loud shouts, but with daily faithfulness. You do not need to see instant results, you only need to keep going. And with each step I walk beside you. In every battle I fight alongside you, and every victory, no matter how small, builds toward the great triumph I have destined for your life. So rise, beloved, take a deep breath, wipe your tears and look ahead. Not because you are strong, but because I am strong. Not because you have enough, but because my grace is sufficient for you. And when you stand, all of heaven rejoices. Because you, the child of the King, are stepping into your destiny with an unshakable love, with strength, not from this world, and with a voice that carries life, truth, and freedom. I believe in you, and I will never stop working through you until the light within you reaches the furthest corners of the darkness. My beloved child, when your heart cries out in prayer, when your lips tremble with emotion, and you whisper, "Lord, send your angels to encamp around me, and those I love," you have touched a sacred truth, that you are not alone. There is a spiritual realm more vibrant than what the human eye can perceive, and in that realm, my mighty angels are being sent forth, not to stand idly, but to wage war, to guard, to carry out the commands that come from the throne of grace. Commands given for you. My child, I hear your plea. I see your desire for protection, not only for yourself, but for your family, for those you love, with the very love I planted in your heart. And I, the one who never grows weary in watching over his children, have given orders to the heavenly hosts, warriors of light, to stand guard around you like an army too numerous to count. They do not sleep, they do not become distracted, they do not falter. They stand at the gates of your home, at every threshold, at every hidden corner that may seem insignificant. and they guard with flaming swords in hand, so that no darkness may sneak in unchallenged. When you asked me to build a wall of fire around you, I answered, that wall is not built of bricks and mortar, but of my word, of the presence of my spirit, and of the unbreakable power of heaven. It is a shield, invisible yet unshakable, that causes every scheme of the enemy to disintegrate and every creeping shadow to be rendered powerless. You do not need to face unseen forces alone. I have sent my army to move on your behalf even before you knew you needed help, for I am a father, and no father stands by idly while his child is threatened. My beloved, I rejoice when you lay down the spirit of fear. I see your courage as you rise and declare, I reject doubt. I will not accept confusion. That is the first step toward victory, when you refuse to accept what does not belong to me and instead embrace what I have given you. For the spirit I have placed within you is not one of fear or hesitation, but of power, of love, and of sound judgment. That spirit can discern the truth, stand firm in the storm, and proclaim life even in the deepest night. Do not be ashamed when your heart still trembles. Do not feel guilt when tears fall in the silence of the night, for it is in your weakness that your faith becomes strong. It is in your small prayers that my power is magnified. When you whisper, Father, protect me, it is not weakness. It is the sign of a child who knows she has a father and trusts him deeply. And that prayer is never lost in the void. It is remembered by me, received by angels, and set into motion even before you see the results. So my child, keep praying. Do not let the stillness deceive you into thinking your cries are in vain. Every whisper uttered in my name is an arrow that pierces the veil of darkness. Every truth you declare is a lamp lit in the midnight hour. Every time you proclaim you are my refuge and my protector, heaven responds to the movement of your faith. You are causing a trembling, not with clenched fists, but with a heart full of steadfast trust. Teach your heart to dwell in trust. Whenever anxiety creeps in, remember that there are angels standing by your window and heavenly warriors circling your bed each night. Teach your mind that you are not surrounded by darkness, but by light. Say to your soul, the Lord has spoken, and he never breaks his promises. For yes, my child, I never forget my promise to guard you on every path, even when you walk through the valley of shadows or cross lands of uncertainty. I love you, not because your prayers are eloquent, but because your heart is sincere, not because you are always strong, but because you run to me when you are weak. Not because your requests are perfect, but because you call upon me with humility. And that, precisely that, moves my heart. I do not seek those who never fail. I seek hearts that depend on me. And you, yes, you, are that heart. My beloved, continue to live in the faith that angels are encamped around you. Continue to walk each day, not with anxiety, but with gratitude, knowing there is a barrier that cannot be penetrated surrounding you and your family. Let my peace, the peace not from this world, be your place of rest, the refuge for your soul, and the foundation on which you keep walking the path I have laid before you. And remember, though evil may try to draw near, it will halt at the boundary of light. Though the enemy may howl outside within you, there can still be silence and peace, for you know I have issued. My command, the angels are on guard, and my love is covering you, forever unchanging. My beloved child, when you lift your voice in prayer, when you cry out from the depths of your soul, Father, surround me with your presence. You have opened a divine door, a door for me to enter, not only to be near, but to shine, to heal. Uphold your soul with my very life. You see, I do not merely listen to such a plea. I respond with all of heaven. For every word spoken from a sincere longing is a cry that echoes to the throne of grace, and I, a loving Father, never ignore a heart that seeks me with all its strength. My child, I know there are corners in your life you do not want anyone to see, unnamed wounds, conflicting thoughts, ancient scars you sometimes forget you even carry. But child, I have not come to judge. I have come to shine. And my light does not bring shame. It brings freedom. When my light touches your darkest places, the things that once frightened you begin to dissolve, and you begin to feel a release that no words can describe. That is peace, not a fleeting calm based on pleasant circumstances, but peace that surpasses understanding, a divine stillness that anchors your heart and mind in the storm. My beloved, in this world of lies and turmoil, I do not promise that everything around you will always be smooth. But I do promise this: I will guard your heart. When you surrender your mind to me, I place around it an invisible shield, woven from my word, from the presence of my spirit, and from a peace that cannot be shaken. And beyond peace, I desire to give you joy. Not a shallow happiness born from passing laughter, but a deep rejoicing that comes from knowing you are a child of the King, living under the direct care of one who never slumbers. The joy I give, my child, is not the reward after the battle, but the strength to step into the battle. When you let my joy fill your heart, fear loses its grip. Anxiety cannot bind you, because my love, when it reigns, drives out every trace of fear. You will no longer face the future with anxious eyes, but with hope-filled vision, because you know your destiny is held in a hand, and that hand is mine. Yet, my child, in the midst of that light, I also hear the awakened whisper of your soul. Father, give me wisdom and spiritual discernment. And I delight when you ask this, because a child of light cannot walk wisely without learning to discern false light. In today's world, the enemy has mastered disguise. It doesn't always come as a roaring beast, but as a tempting idea, a sweet invitation, a lifestyle that looks healthy but lacks holiness. So I desire to open your spiritual eyes, so you may see not just with human sight, but with the illumination of the Spirit. I long to open your spiritual ears, so you can hear my voice clearly amid the noise of the world. My beloved, I know you long to stand firm in faith, not as one full of pride, but as a faithful child. I know you do not merely want to know my word, but to live it and proclaim it boldly, even when your heart is trembling. And I say this to you, you can. Not because you are strong, but because I am your strength. Not because you are capable, but because my grace is sufficient for you. When you rise and speak my word, even just a sentence, even just a whisper in a quiet room, all of heaven stirs, because my word in your mouth has power, not because of who you are, but because of who I am within you. So my child, stay awake. Do not let your dreams be stolen. Do not let the enemy lull you into spiritual fatigue. Be steadfast. Learn to wait without growing cold, to trust without growing weary, and above all, live by my strength, not your own. You were not created to carry it all. You were created to lean on me, the one who goes before you, walks beside you, and will lead you to your destined place. My precious one, if you could see what I see, the angels encamped around you, the fiery arrows extinguished by your small prayers, the walls being rebuilt because of your quiet perseverance, you would never doubt again. So don't stop inviting my presence. Don't stop calling for my light to shine. Don't stop declaring, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? I am here, and I will not leave you. I will be with you in rainy days and sunny ones, in dry prayers and overflowing moments, because you are my child, and once you call me Father, all of heaven responds. Amen. As a child of God, He is always beside you in every moment to remind you to live in faith and trust in His love. Follow and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of my messages from heaven. Amen.